Hello FlossTube, my name is Sarah. I'm from Memphis and this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome, welcome. Today is bright and early on a Sunday, October the 8th. This is a FlossTube Extra. I have no idea what number it is, which is not surprising. This is going to be my recap of the Queen City Stitch Retreat. I'm actually here in Charlotte right now this morning. I've just gotten up not that long ago. It is a very bright no, it's not bright. It's not bright at all. It's dark and it's very early. But yeah, I'm still here at the hotel. The retreat ended last night. This is Sunday morning. I am waiting on my husband to arrive. He is flying in and we are going to be attending the NASCAR race here in Charlotte today. And then we're heading up to Massachusetts for lots of fun and my next Stitchy retreat, the Stitch New England retreat. So I wanted to go on and get my, for lack of better terms, a recap of the Queen City Stitch Retreat out before we hit the road. Well, I mean, it might get uploaded before we hit the road, but I at least wanted to get it filmed. So I apologize for the lighting and the fan that I cannot figure out how to turn off. I turned the AC off, I turned the fan off, but I can still hear a fan that's just running like in the little hall area above the door. So sorry if that's super distracting. All right, let's just hop right into it. So this past week, I have attended the first annual Queen City Stitch Retreat located in Charlotte, North Carolina, hosted by some dear friends of mine, Amy, Fiber Arts Amy, and Maggie Kitschy Whips. Both of them are on Instagram and FlossTube. This first annual Queen City Stitch Retreat was born out of an absolute love and admiration for designer Nora Corbett. You may also have heard of her. Nora Corbett, she designs their Mirabilia designs as well as her own line of Nora Corbett. So that is how this whole thing came about. One day, Amy and Maggie and I were Zooming and chit-chatting, and it was just like, Maggie's like, oh yeah, they wanted to talk about having a retreat, and wouldn't it be great to actually it didn't start off as a retreat. It was more like, we should all get together with people who like to stitch mirrors and like a small group and get together and just have a little stitchy thing. And then it turned into like, wouldn't it be cool if Nora could come? And it was a whole thing. So, and of course, fast forward to a year and a half later, and here we are at this amazing retreat. I want to just give my heartfelt thanks to those two amazing ladies. This retreat was absolutely phenomenal. And if you followed me, you've known I have been to several retreats in the last few years. And this is not to, I don't want to say like down any other retreat. Absolutely not. They are all special and precious in their own way. This was just a very magical retreat for myself, and I feel like many, many others. This is the first retreat that I've been to that has been sort of more like a niche retreat as far as what the designer, the focus, what it was all about. And it's an amazing feeling to have a room full of stitchers. There's always that common thread like we talk about, right? But to have a room full of stitchers who are absolutely in love with designs by one designer who is a prolific designer, and just the energy was something that I have not yet experienced. I have experienced, but I had not before then. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was the brag table, y'all. The room didn't need a single decoration. The brag table that spanned an entire wall was literally breathtaking. I have some amazing video that I took. I did have to pause, and so it's going to be kind of, stitched together for you. I will put that in the end. I anticipate it being several minutes long, so just, sit back and enjoy. I apologize if I make you motion sick. People brought stacks of finished Noras and Miras, so I did take the time to flip through everyone's stack, in addition to having a bunch of frame pieces. it was just breathtaking. But let me just get right into my experience here at the 2023 Queen City Stitch Retreat. Little side note, next year they will be having a 2024 Queen City Stitch Retreat located here in Charlotte at the same location, and it is not going to be Mirabilia themed next year, that they do have a guest artist, and they will be announcing that sometime in the near future. I do know registration for that retreat won't open until New Year's. So, all right, so Charlotte, North Carolina, that's where I headed Wednesday morning. Not as early as I wanted to get out of the house. Of course, that's super typical, right? But yep, that's where I headed out Wednesday morning, and I was driving, and oh gosh, rental cars. Has anyone tried to rent a car lately? It is literally not for the faint of heart. I reserved a rental car back in July with Enterprise. I know I talked about this in my last FlossTube, but I mean, still, I reserved that car back in July. I was told at the last, the 11th hour that there was not a car available at this branch. Had to just search down a car at other branches and ended up with this little bitty clown car, little bitty blue Mitsubishi Mirage, that did not have a trunk. That, trust me, I jammed that thing just jam-packed, and yeah, took off from Memphis. So the car is interesting. I learned from my friend Jordan, a tattooed stitcher, that one of the reasons why it doesn't like to go very well between 0 and 40 is it goes into this like economy or some sort of like fancy mode that maybe it's gas saving or something like that. I'm not really sure. It stinks though. Maybe when my husband gets here today and he starts driving the car, he can figure out if we can disable this function, because we have a long road trip ahead of us. But anyway, so I hopped in the car, got going. I had a very, very uneventful drive, except for the fact that the gas tank is super small, and so I had to stop very frequently to put gas in the car. It didn't have the function where it's like, I really rely on this crutch in my car. I don't know about you all, but like 30 miles till empty. No. So I'm like having to really watch the fuel the whole time and figure out how many gallons I'm getting, to the miles and all that sort of stuff, and how big my gas tank is, how many miles I can go, whatever. So I was a big girl. I took care of it. It was fine. So I had a long drive. It was about a 10-hour trip, especially with all the stops I had to make. And I did lose an hour because I went from Central to Eastern time. So gosh, what time did I roll in around here? I mean, I want to say it was like 6-ish, probably. Anyway, it was dark, so it might have been a little bit later than that. Anyway, I get in here, I get all checked in. This retreat this weekend has been held at the Courtyard Marriott. It says Courtyard Marriott Waverly, and it's outside of Charlotte. It is a wonderful hotel. The lobby is really nice. It does have a bar and like a bistro area. It does not have like a free breakfast situation, but they do offer like free cookies in the afternoon. It has like little alcoves to sit in and visit. It's a really pretty hotel. The rooms are very nice. I was really, really pleased with the room. Staff was like super helpful. Everything was clean. The rate was not the discounted room rate we got was a very reasonable. And the ballroom where we actually got to hold the retreat was so nice. It had these huge, on both sides, huge like floor to ceiling windows, and it was just spacious. And one day they offered us like free coffee service. So I can't say enough good things about this hotel. So if you're going to come next year in the future years, don't worry about what kind of hotel you're getting into. But I will say this, when the room block opens up, get your room. All right, so I get in, and of course, no events are happening just yet. Get into my room and get checked in, and of course, who do I see in the lobby immediately when I get in there? My sweet friend, Janet Jabber. I got a big hug from Janet. I got to see, oh my gosh, there were so many people when I got here. It was great. I had like a million trips to make to carry all my junk in because, I started pulling things together in plenty of time, but like my packing was very last minute. And you know, when you pack last minute, you do tend to overpack and you're not packing as carefully. And so like I had gifts for people and like whips for 2 retreats, you know, and you name it. I had my clothes and toiletries, and I mean, obviously I'm on the road for 2 weeks basically, so I need my stuff, you know how we are. So anyway, I get all checked in, and then let me think about, what did we do? Oh yes, so got down to the lobby and met up with my friend Elisa, Cross by Floss. Check her out on FlossTube. Lisa is the originator of the hashtag Mira Monday stitching, and she also does like a whole Mira May and a Nora November with like a vlog style. It's very cool. So anyway, Lisa and I were hungry. She got in a little bit later than she had anticipated to, and so anyway, we walked across the parking lot. This is very good. It's located really great. There's a lot of places you can just walk to, or very minimal drives. So there's like there's a Bojangles right across the parking lot. There's a Kava right across the parking lot. There's a First Watch right across the parking lot. Not very far, there's a Whole Foods. There are a lot of I mean, it is a busy like parking lot area, but it is still walkable if you don't have a vehicle. You're not gonna starve. So anyway, Lisa and I walked over to Bojangles. We got right in. It was really, really empty. And anyway, we sat there and we didn't sit there. We went in to order our food. And, you know, the things that we ordered were no longer available. So there was that. But we did order some dinner and sat down. And I mean, I think we were in there for quite a while, just chatting and eating. Unbeknownst to us, our dear friends, Bernadette, poor Bernadette, and Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, they wanted some Bojangles too. In particular, Bernadette wanted the Bojangles, and they were trying to get into the Bojangles, and they were trying to open the door. We didn't hear them trying to open the door. We didn't know they were out there starving to death, but we did find that out later. And you know, to hear more exciting stories of Bojangle adventures, head on over to Bernadette's channel, Burn Stitches, and check that out whenever she gets that together, because she had some fun times at Bojangles this weekend. So anyway, we had a nice dinner and sat down and visited for quite a while. And then we came back over to the hotel, and then I got to meet Bernadette, Burn Stitches. I love her so much. We've been friends, you know, but to meet your friends in real life, it's so amazing. And Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, I love her. We have had the best weekend. I got to meet Alma, the tattooed stitching owl. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet, and her wonderful husband. And Allie Z, Z is crafty. She has a floss tube. Everybody I'm going to be talking about, you know, if they have a floss tube, I'm going to be linking their stuff down below. If I miss somebody, I'm really sorry. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of names. I loved and enjoyed meeting and talking to everyone this weekend. I got to give all the hugs and love to Amy Fiber Arts, Amy, Maggie, Kitschy Whips. The first thing y'all, Amy is not Maggie is not a tall person. She is a tiny human. I just want you to know, her personality may be larger than life, but when you see her, you'll be like, what? That's the first thing came out of my mouth to her. I love it. They were wonderful. So yes, just got to visit and chat with everybody for a little bit, and then headed up to bed because it had been a very long day. Of course, Bernadette and Amber were wide awake because they're all on West Coast time, and so I think they probably stayed up pretty late. But I went on and headed up to bed, and you know, just tried to get settled in because I knew I had a bright and early morning. I basically spent every morning when I woke up finishing some gifts that I had stitched for some of my sweet friends. I actually made some scissor fobs, and I used the Vanna Pfeiffer scissor fob, like it's hand stitch, hand sewn tutorial. I will link that in my description box as well. I'm going to post some pictures of some of the scissor fobs that I've made. I had them all stitched and cut out and basically sewn together Most of them were stuffed, maybe a couple weren't. But what I had left to do that I ran out of time to do was I need to make sure everything was stuffed, and then I had to finish sewing them up together, and then I needed to sew, make some cording and sew that around. So I tried to, it was like an experiment, but I tried to stitch things for people that I knew that they really loved. So like Amy's, I stitched a spinning wheel on hers because she does magical weaving spinning things that I do not understand. And my sweet friend Lisa, she loves Maleficent, so that was a no-brainer. And then Janet Jabber, I know she likes some Halloween stuff. And my friend Bernadette, she loves the Veronique, I can't say her name, and Ginger. Yeah, so it was fun. Yeah, and Maggie, Kitschy Whips, Maggie loves Lord of the Rings. So yeah, anyway, I just stitched these up for them. It was super fun. You can do this too. And it was I don't know, it was just a fun little thing to do for some sweet friends. But basically every morning when I woke up, I was doing like a part of that and trying to finish that so I could like kind of gift them out along the way. So you know, so I woke up bright and early and started stitching on that. This was going to be, what day was this? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So the retreat didn't really start until later Thursday afternoon. I want to say it was like 3 or 4. So actually it was fun. Bernadette had a great idea. And so Bernadette and I and Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, and Janet Jabber, we went on this tour. It's called a Southern Charm tour. And so it was basically like we drove to the, I don't want to call it, maybe it is downtown, the downtown area of Charlotte, maybe the older historic district. Charlotte separated into wards, and we hopped on this golf cart and took this tour, and it was really fun. It was interesting. We got to see all sorts of historical homes, learn about some of the history of the city, learn about, you know, Charlotte Hornets and the significance of the hornet nest. We drove by there's a NASCAR Hall of Fame museum looks phenomenal. There's like the real race cars are all lined up inside there. What else did we go by? We hopped out and we got to see we saw beautiful statues, and I mean, you name it. It was a really, really nice introduction, little like just background tour of the city that we were staying at, because, you know, I'm really glad we did that. I do try to do that when I'm with my family and stuff, but several of the Stitchy trips I've been on, in particular, I'm thinking like I've been to Steel City Stitchers twice up in Pittsburgh, and really I've gone to the hotel. Now the first time was in a blizzard, so what the heck was I gonna do anyway, right? But I mean, really, I don't know anything about Pittsburgh. I haven't really spent any time in Pittsburgh other than like at the hotel with my friends stitching. So I really do want to try to do that for future Stitchy retreats, because it was pretty cool to like know a little bit about the city you were in, and you know, have some good time with some friends. So after we did the golf cart tour, they dropped us back off, and along the way she was telling us like good restaurants to go to, the ones that she really liked. We ended up going back to Mertz, which was a very cool restaurant. It's a Black-owned business, and they have like, it's decorated gorgeous, and it's all soul food, and a lot of theater posters and signed inside the restaurant, because people, after they go to the theater, you know, they would come over and eat, and cast members and everything like that. It was a great restaurant. I can pop some pictures of some food in here. The cornbread was to die for. I mean, if you like sweet cornbread, I mean, melt in your mouth. It was delicious. I ended up getting these famous salmon cakes that they have with the sauce, and I had coleslaw and mac and cheese. I was trying to think. Other girls got the salmon cakes, the salmon patties as well. I was thinking crab cakes, crab cakes. Salmon patties is what we had. And then Bernadette had the fried chicken, and Amber might have had the greens, and somebody might have had grits or mashed potatoes, or I don't know, but you get the gist of it, right? I really had wanted to save some room for some strawberry cake, but nope, wasn't happening. I ran out of room. So After we finished eating, we had to get back to the hotel. Bernadette had something she needed to do, and we kind of all just kind of settled in and got cleaned up and got all of our stitchy stuff together before it was time to head on down to the ballroom to check in. So we went up to our rooms and got all of our stuff. I brought my Lowry stand this time to the retreat. This is the first time I brought my Lowry stand to the retreat. And while it was kind of a pain, like where it was sitting, when I was getting up and down, it was a very comfortable to stitch with. I enjoyed having it very much. So kind of loaded up all my stuff, headed on down, met up with Amber down there and Janet, and we were waiting around, and then just kind of visiting with everybody in the lobby area. And then we went to go get checked in, and at the check-in area were these like, I don't know, cut-ins, and they had all of our name tags laying on those cut-ins. You can see, I think it's really nice. They had our information on here and kind of, oh, I got crumbs in there. And like a, you know, kind of like a pretty Mirabilia scrolly thing. And the lanyard says Queen City Stitch Retreat on it. And I don't know if it has a year on it or not. It doesn't. But anyway, so we got our lanyards. There was like a line formed, and they had been getting their lanyards. And so we got our lanyards too. And then Amy came back and she's like, "What are y'all doing? Stay out of the lanyards." We didn't know. We didn't know. We already started off in trouble. So Amy had to get some bouncers, I think. Her bouncers ended up being Alma, Tattooed Owl Stitcher, and Melissa, Sheba Designs. They were our appointed bouncers to keep all of us out of the things that we weren't supposed to be in. So they welcomed us and got us in. And of course, greeting us at the entrance was a Large Marge. If you watch Maggie Kitschy Whips and you know anything about Large Marge, she is Spring Queen by Mirabilia, and she stitched on, I think she stitched on 11 count Ada, and Amy or Maggie rescued her from something. I don't know where she ended up rescuing her from, but she's so big. She's huge. So I'll pop a picture in here too, and you can see how big Large Marge really is. So she welcomed us in, and we all went inside and got our spots together. So we ended up being at table 4. It was our table. And started off, it was myself and Amber and Bernadette and Lisa, Cross by Floss. Lisa was to join us later because she was on a very important mission. And then so we had an empty spot or so, and we also were saving a spot for Jordan, the tattooed stitcher, because poor Jordan, she had a delay due to weather and was unable to get here Wednesday night. So she got in Thursday afternoon. She got in not too long after the retreat started, so it wasn't the end of the world, but we did miss her on our golf cart tour that day for sure. So when we got in, sitting in our seats was this super nice Queen City Stitch Retreat tote bag. Very good quality, nice, roomy, and spacious. So I'm going to go over what was all inside there. We got a packet with all of our information on it, welcoming us. Talked about welcoming us. It told us what was in the bag. Talked about the freebie table. We had one. Group pictures. We had some group pictures. We were all we were welcome to stitch. We had an unofficial official stitch, was the Charlotte by Mirabilia. And so we were all going to take a group picture of everyone that was stitching or starting or was going to start Charlotte. And then we were also going to take a big group picture. So there's information about when we were going to do that in here. This was a very organized and well thought out retreat. It ran like a top. We had a schedule that showed the stitching room hours, the vendor hours. The vendors that were there was Corinne and John from Grace Notes Fabrics. They had tons of fabric. They had Mirabilia. They had charts. They had embellishment packs. They had the Glorianas. They had the Krynic. They had all sorts of notions, scissors, Q-snaps, you name it. If you needed it, you were not going to be in trouble. Okay, they were very well stocked. Also, before the retreat began, Grace Notes put out a pre-order for a specially dyed fabric. I'm going to find that right now. Let's see, I got all my stuff next to me. Well, I thought I did anyway. They put out a pre-order for a specially dyed fabric that Corinne did, and she named it Nora. And I did pre-order it, so we were able to pick that up at the retreat. It is a beautiful, beautiful blue. It's very pretty. And she also had put out pre-orders for if anybody wanted to buy a Lowry stand, if anybody wanted to buy a roller frame, which I picked up another roller frame. Very happy about that. And then I think those were the only pre-orders that and she also made like a DMC packs for the exclusive retreat stitch piece that Nora designed for us. So that was great. So we had that. So we talked about the hours for the vendors. Our other vendor was very, I loved being able to meet her, Melissa from Sheba Designs. She designs beautiful project bags. And before the retreat, Melissa also had pre-orders, and I pre-ordered an exclusive retreat bag. She had 2 different fabric options, and this is the one I got. It's gorgeous, super gorgeous. And I also pre-ordered some some scroll rod covers. So yeah, I'm excited about those. I am very excited about those. Melissa was wonderful. Melissa had some very beautiful bags at the retreat. Can you believe it? I did not get one. I didn't buy one. The line was like wild. It was wild. And I was like, I have ordered from Melissa several times before, and I have beautiful bags from her as well as the pre-order. So I didn't go stand in line, and I let everybody else get them, and boy, did they get them. And they were some good ones. So they gave us a list of all of like local restaurants and stores, and what kind of food they were. There's some information in here about Nora, and there's they printed out some of her free patterns that you can find on the Mirabilia website. There's a bumblebee, Leilani the hula dancer, and let's see what the other one was. Sorry, I sound kind of scratchy. Hotel rooms and talking all weekend and all that good stuff. Gold butterfly, yeah. And then a very special thank you, because there was like an outpouring of support from our community, in particular our Mirabilia community, to support this retreat. And I'm going to say I'm going to show you all, they had a picture of our like giveaway table. So stitchers were donating tons of Mirabilia charts, Nora charts, out of print stuff, rare, hard to find stuff. And then they also got donations from Witchell, Krynick, Picture This Plus, Fabric Flare, Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, Be Stitch Me, Under the Sea Fabrics, Grace Notes Fabrics, Oak Crown Studios. So we had like tons of fabric that were given away. Then we had gift certificates from 123 Stitch, bag from Sheba Designs, Jasmine's Custom Bags, Jen, I can't wait to meet Jen soon, Punky Pearls, Fern and Gilly, Kathy's Posies, Stonehouse Stitching, Clay by Kim's. Kim donated several of her beautiful needle minders. Mindy Daigle, Mindy's a treasure too. She donated charts, she donated her time, she helped arrange and set up the whole brag table. She was fabulous. She brought gorgeous pieces. She was just wonderful to meet. She helped clean up at the end of the night. I mean, Mindy was great. Thank you, Mindy. If you watch this, I so enjoyed getting to meet you. You are precious. And to Dye House, and then yeah, I mean, this was great. This was great. Our community really came together to support this. In addition, in our packet was 2 rows of raffle tickets, right? And so the raffle tickets, we did a fundraiser, all right? And the fundraiser was for the Charlotte Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control. And that's where Maggie's adopted some of her pets from. And just like any other animal shelters and rescues out there, they need assistance. So we had raffle tickets. And they had this huge long table going down all the way to the middle of the ballroom, and these blue boxes. And the blue box each labeled like what what was being given away. You could put your raffle tickets in, and they were charts, and we're talking like Lady of the Flag, Queen of Peace, Queen of Freedom. They did bundles. They did like a mermaid bundle, an out of print mermaid bundle. It had Mermaid of the Pearls, Shimmering Mermaid, Waiting for Ships, Deepest Love. I mean, they had all of the Christmas set there. Someone donated. It was the sleigh and all the reindeer. They had the 12 Days of Christmas. I mean, y'all, it was amazing. The raffles were great. They also raffled like a custom one-of-a-kind Sheba Designs, like embroidered Queen City Stitch Retreat bag, and one of those really nice project rolls that you can roll your projects up in. It was fabulous. And I'm going to show you a picture of the table. And at the very end of the long table was this huge sketchbook with Nora's original art in it that we were able to look through and flip through and take pictures. I mean, like, y'all, it was phenomenal to see her vision on her sketchbook papers. I mean, everything from newer designs like Nightingale and Tea to Snow Queen to Lady Justice. Fabulous. It was so amazing to be able to look at that. I have pictures of that. Maybe I'll post a couple up in here. And at the end, there are going to be a lot of pictures and a lot of information. So all of the things. I did take pictures of that. So the raffle was to be held last night, Saturday night. So Allie Z is Crafty. She was in charge of selling the raffle tickets, and she did a great job all weekend, just getting everybody to buy tickets. And there were a lot of excited stitchers pumping each other up, motivating each other to donate for the puppies and kitties. So it was great. It was great. So okay, we're all in the room. We're all getting settled in. I'm getting my little area set up. You know, I have to have my little stitchy mat, my board, and my stand, and all of the things. I'll pop a picture in here of my little home sweet home for the weekend. It was great. We had a fun afternoon, just chatting and stitching and getting to catch up and getting to know each other. My dear friend Denise, Black Ribbon Stitch Studios, I ran into her while I was heading back up to the elevator and snatched her up, and she came over and sat at our table. And so we ended up with Denise, and then same thing, Deb came in looking for Denise, and then we had, instead of 6, we had 7. So table number 4 was an amazing table. We had the best time. We laughed till we cried all weekend long. That's part of why I'm so hoarse. I mean, these women, I thoroughly enjoyed my weekend with them. And we were sitting like table adjacent with some other really wonderful people. Janet was close, and Rocio was close, and oh my gosh, it was just a wonderful weekend. Yeah. I can't say enough about how much I love these girls now. I mean, they're amazing. Let's see. So let's talk a little bit about maybe some stitchy kindness. I want to show you some of the whips that I stitched on. Let's see. So Thursday. Sorry, messing up my days. Thursday. So, I mean, you know, it was just a little bit in the afternoon there, trying to think about what we ended up eating. We didn't go out to eat together on Thursday because Jordan got in kind of late. Bernadette and Amber did end up wanting to get some Bojangles. I got a burger from the bar bistro area. That was fun. We did some stitching, and I don't think anything super exciting or dramatic happened on Thursday, actually. It was all pretty much just hanging out, getting comfortable with everybody. You know how it takes a minute, and it doesn't really take that long, but getting comfortable with everybody, chatting, and then the room stayed open until 11. Of course, we shut that down and went up to bed. Well, some of us did, but Friday. So Friday morning, got down there fairly bright and early. Not as bright and early as I had wanted to, because I was probably working on a project. Yep, that's probably what I was doing. And Friday morning, so they had random giveaways all during the day. And I ended up winning at one of the giveaways. I ended up winning the out of print chart Fairy Moon. I'll put a picture of it up here below, above. I did already have that chart, and so I was able to pass it on and gift it to a sweet friend who did not have that chart. So I was very happy to be able to do that. We did some giveaways, and then we were able to meet Nora. So what we did, that started at about 10. And so what they did is they would excuse us by table to go out into the lobby area where Nora was set up with a table and be able to talk to Nora. We could take 2 items for her to sign and of course get a picture with her. Nora was really unbelievable. She took so much time with everybody. She was genuinely just like happy out there, asking us questions, just spending a lot of time talking to people, taking pictures. Like, it was such an amazing experience. Actually, we didn't end up getting to have, our table didn't end up getting to have our meet and greet with Nora until after lunch. But that's how they did. They just called us out by table. And so that was going on during the day. I think, what did we do for, I know y'all don't care what we did for lunch. Friday, I ended up ordering like chicken salad chick, just doing it Uber Eats, and had a good lunch with Bernadette and Denise and Lisa. Yeah, we had a nice lunch, and I don't think, and Amber, no? Amber, did you eat with us? I don't remember. It's kind of running together. Anyway, yeah, we all together out there. We were all out together there eating, and Maggie and Amy had massage therapists come in. That was on Friday, so you were able to sign up for massages. And I signed up, and I actually had 2 separate massages. I had my neck and my shoulder and my hands done. And then I got to thinking, I was like, I've got some really long drives, and I've had back surgery before, and my lower back was giving me a little bit of the blues while I was driving. So I went back and had a second. They were wonderful. That was a great. I wish all retreats could have massage therapists out there. It was wonderful, and they stayed busy the whole time. People just booked a spot and paid them. And just periodically during the day, they would have giveaways, just random, call your number, because they actually had enough donations that every single person at the retreat got a giveaway item. That was super cool. And then one of the fun things we did was Catherine, Needleberry Stitcher. I was so excited to meet Catherine, y'all. She's so nice. Y'all, she brought in like a projector and all the equipment, and she set up through some sort of site where we just like scanned a QR code. We did these quizzes. It was so much fun. It was a timed thing, and there were prizes and winners, and they were all like Mirabilia, Nora Corbett trivia questions. And there were some good questions on there. So, I mean, when we were doing these challenges, you could hear it was like a tomb in that room. There's like 140 something people in that room, and you could hear a pin drop when we were having to enter in our question answers. It was so much fun. So thank you, Catherine. We did 2 days of that. We did question and answers on Friday and on Saturday. Bernadette won the grand prize at the end. She was number 1 for the second day of prizes and questions. Jordan made it up there on the leaderboard too. I think she was second at one point. I stayed pretty much in the 20s and 30s. I just wasn't as fast at answering them. And then one time my little fat finger slipped down and I picked the wrong answer. But anyway, it was so much fun. So thank you, Catherine. That was super enjoyable. She did a lot of work to make that happen, and it worked. It worked. So that was great. Yeah. So let's see, Friday. Yeah. So after lunch, we had massages and all of the things, and then y'all, our table got to meet Nora Corbett. It was so amazing. She was so nice. She took her picture with our whole table. She took her picture with us individually. She signed items for us. I had Nora sign my new start for the retreat, which is, was Queen Mariposa. So Queen Mariposa, let me just show you. Here she is. There's my signature, right? Queen Mariposa. Let's see if I can find a copyright on her. I haven't seen her stitched that much. 2014 it looks like. Y'all, she is beautiful. I started her, I'm stitching her on a piece of 32 count Melody by Fabrics by Stephanie. I got over 200 stitches in to satisfy my Whip Warrior requirement. I know it doesn't look like much. It's just like the middle part of her blue dress here, but she's going to be fabulous. Look at all of her beautiful DMC. She does have one water lilies, and she actually has one petite silk lame braid. She has a beautiful, beautiful, lots of embellishments, and it looks like one Krynick. So yeah, so that's who I'm starting. I wanted Nora to sign this because A, it was my new start, and B, the other day I posted a story talking about what I was going to start for the Queen City Stitch Retreat, and she reposted it on her on her Instagram. I told her how much I appreciated that, and it meant a lot to me, and she was like, oh, y'all, she is so nice. In addition to having her sign that, the other item that I had her sign was my Miss Christmas Eve. Miss Christmas Eve is all packed up. I'm not going to bring her out now, but she was part of what I displayed. I'll pop a little thing of what actually I had on for my portion of the brag table up here. And so yeah, so she signed that, and we talked about Miss Christmas Eve for a little bit, and she expressed some things like, you know, about FlossTubers, and when she sees us, when she hears herself being talked about on FlossTube, she's like, just like blown away and so surprised. She is a very humble, non-assuming individual, y'all. Like, it was evident that all of the attention and the applause and the love and the outpouring that she was showing and the brag table, and it was just, it was a lot for her. I think it was a lot for her at times, because I don't think she knows how much we love her. So, I mean, I hope she knows now, but I do think she was just like, wow. And so, yeah, she was wonderful to talk to, and it was just an amazing, amazing experience. One of the things that was very special, I forgot to talk about on Thursday evening after she got in, because that little special, you know, errand my friend Lisa was on was collecting the package from the airport. So, but yeah, so after Nora got in and got a little bit settled in, myself and Amy, Fiber Arts Amy, Maggie Kitschy Whips, and Corinne of Grace Notes, we presented her with a very special gift from us. We each stitched one of our favorite Miras, the heads. So we had a fairy, we had a fancy lady, we had a fairy tale, and I stitched the mermaid. I stitched Siren and the shipwreck, just the head part, and then Maggie had them all beautifully framed from her framer, and we presented it to Nora, and it was very, very special. I'm gonna pop a picture of it up here, but she was stunned. She was really very, like, she lost her words for a little bit and just let us know how much she appreciated it and how much it meant to her, and that she didn't have any of those stitched, and it was just, and we just oohed and awed over her and told her how much we thought she was amazing, and you know, that these were our favorites. And yeah, I think they were, I did Siren the Shipwreck, and Bianca Bella was on there, and Petal Fairy, and I think it was Lady Mirabilia. So yeah, that was really special. That is a memory that I will, you know, treasure for sure, because it was very special. And so Friday, yeah, it was great. Friday night, where did we have dinner? Friday night, oh yeah, the girls and I'm just telling you, table 4, we just had a great time wherever we were. We walked across the parking lot to Cava, and it was like, well, basically they were calling it a Greek Chipotle. Oh gosh, it's very, very slow service. But the food was delicious. Like Jordan said, sloppy but delicious. But it was really good. I would recommend it. We walked over there and then walked back, and ended up, you know, just stitching the night away, and getting together and having some glasses of wine afterwards, and just hanging out. And Friday night was kind of a late night for us, but I mean, the laughter. I mean, you all, Amber's like, my face hurts from laughing, and Janet's like laughing so hard everybody's got tears rolling down their face. Bernadette, oh my gosh, yes. I mean, and Denise is hilarious. Denise is hilarious, y'all. Don't go on Denise's Instagram if you're not a Stitcher, because she is not having it. She doesn't care if you think she has a beautiful smile and you want to be her friend. If you're not a cross stitcher, don't bother Denise. She is ruthless, okay? I love her so much. And Deb, oh my goodness, poor Deb. She froze the whole time. I cannot wait to see Deb again at the sweater weather retreat. Deb was one of our more early morning people, so I did get to spend the morning with her on Saturday morning, because she came down actually after I did. She beat me down there, I think Friday, but this Saturday morning I beat her down there. And so we had a lot of time to connect and talk back and forth about things. And yeah, she's wonderful. Every single one of the women at my table brought me so much joy. I had so many great conversations. And in general, I mean, I had so many great conversations with people. It was so nice to meet so many people. People came up and introduced themselves to me. And yeah, it was just a fabulous weekend. Jordan is actually making project bags now. And so I bought some, and she brought them in town for me. And look at this. I don't know. She's making them right now for the Stitch West retreat that she's going to be attending. Bernadette's going too. I think Amber's meeting them for lunch. They're going to Shepherd's Bush. I am like, I really want to be there with them. I'm going to be at Stitch New England, so it's going to be equally awesome. But talk about having a little FOMO. I would love to be hanging out with them in Utah next weekend. So isn't this adorable? I don't know what Jordan's plans are. I don't know if she'll be selling them any, I don't know what Jordan's doing, but keep an eye on Jordan's Tattoo Stitcher Floss Tube. Look at the fabric on this one. Ah, it's so good. Charm. The charm. It's super cute. It's super cute. Super nice zippers. I love these. I love these. So I was so happy she brought me these. Y'all know I can't resist a bag. I saw her, I was listening to her YouTube on the way up to Galleria, and I had to message her after I got in town and be like, hey, I need some bags, please, ma'am. So yeah, that was great. That was great. Sorry, I'm dropping stuff over here. I did get some other little sweet gifts from people. Bernadette bought me a beautiful piece of Grace Knows Fabrics in 40 count. Isn't it so pretty? It's Sagnanda. I don't know what that stands for, but very, very nice. I'm excited. We were talking about, sort of you getting a thing where you're buying like the same count of fabric all the time, and I needed to up my higher count stuff. So, and Deb gave me this beautiful piece of Picture This Plus Prank, and that's a 36 count. Isn't that so nice? I love that. I love that. Lisa brought me, sorry for the crinkles, she knows how much I love the Hocus Pocus. She got me a Ray Dunn Hocus Pocus coffee mug, which I did not have. I am so happy to have. Thank you, Lisa. You're so sweet. Yeah, oh my gosh, y'all. Denise brought us all like a little bag of candy, and she crocheted us all these little pink pumpkins. I love it so much, so much. It was so fun. I want to show you a few of the other really nice little, oh gosh. This was from Patty at Peppermint Cottage. Y'all, she made these needle books. Look at these things. And she stitched all this. And it's got the tulip pink fabric. And it does have a, oh, I put mine on there upside down. My pin fell out. A pin with like a crown, Queen City. So many really beautiful handmade gifts. I made scissor fobs for everybody at the retreat. I did have some leftovers because I made some extras. I wasn't sure if we'd have any extras. And then we had some people who couldn't attend. So I am going home with a few extras, but you get the idea. I just had some really pretty purple Queen City, retreat. And I put the years on them, and I had one of my floss drops and my information on the back. And I really hope everyone got one, because that was definitely my intention. Yeah, and Janet Dabber. Oh goodness, she made these super cool little Queen City rings, and you take the plastic off, and it's got like sticky stuff for beading. I love it. I love it. So cool. Really sweet stitcher. Pam Teague. Pam. She brought a whole little bag of sweet, sweet, beautiful goodies. I'm talking from like beautiful needle minders to floss drops. Y'all know I cannot resist. I love floss drops, and a Christmas floss drop. Are you kidding me? Where's this one? This one is so pretty. It's got trees on it. Well, you know, trees and snow is my favorite, with like a charm, like a little Christmas tree charm. I mean, just so generous, and candy, and she was just like being so sweet, just like, thanks for doing FlossTube. And how amazing is that? Oh my gosh. And Lisa, also Crossed by Floss, she passed out all of these. I hope y'all got one of these, because she brought one for everybody. It's got like a little, you know, fairy wand in there to get your whatever, your fuzzies off, your retreat piece. And Lisa doesn't stitch linen. She's an Ada stitcher, and she won some fabric in the giveaway, and she passed it on to me. It's really pretty. It's a piece of Whimsical Bobby Stitch Me 32 count. Y'all know I can use that. Well, thank you, Lisa. And then I had some other just cute little, oh, the Colorado girls were there. The girls from Colorado that I met at StitchCon, they were there. Table 11, they were wild. They were singing the whole time and hooping and hollering. They had so much fun. I mean, everybody just had, everybody had so much fun. There's a lady named Holly, and her daughter made these bracelets that we could pre-order. And I don't know if you can see this or not. It's one of those kind of like, what is this, like metal? And it says Queen City Stitchers 2023 on it. Like it's like stamped. I love these bracelets. I have several of these bracelets. We did something fun. We didn't do like a smalls exchange. What we did was we did a notion swap, which was a great idea. So basically you just fill a little bag with some notions. I think they said like at least a $20 value or whatever, just things that you like to use. And then they put them all up there, and then they just called you by like table or whatever and said you can go get do your swap, and just pick your bag out. And I don't know if I took a picture of what I gave. I didn't ever get to meet the person that got my bag. I hope they liked it. I did put a little note in there with my name, but I wasn't gonna hunt them down or anything if they didn't want to chit chat. No, you know, not everybody's social. So I did end up meeting the lady who gave me my goodies, and she was very, very sweet. She gave me like this nice little notions bag here. I picked the bag because it's Tigers, and you know Memphis Tigers. You might not know Memphis Tigers, University of Memphis. We're the Tigers. So she gave me a really pretty skein of Night Stalkers Calling, Red Dragon, and a little charm, and two of these little Millie Hill kits. So that was very, very nice. It was nice to meet her. And yeah, I mean, so those were pretty much all of the activities. Saturday was kind of like bittersweet because everything was kind of coming to an end, and we were still doing giveaways. And I mean, a lot of giveaways. It was so fun. People were so excited. I just loved it. One of the most special things about yesterday was we had a Q&A session with Nora. And we didn't really, a few people did ask questions, but we weren't like personally asking the questions. Maggie was facilitating it, and there were a list of questions, and it just flowed so well. Nora was very open about her life, life events, how those events and like affected her designs and her design process, and what she sees for the future coming. And you know, it was fun. Maggie was asking her questions about particular pieces, and does she remember what she was doing for this and this, and it was like very emotional Q&A. Several of us at the table, people everywhere were brought to tears. People were crying, you know. It was a thing because a lot of the things that she was talking about, everyone could relate to in their own way. Everybody's been through those hard times. Everybody's needed something to get them through those hard times. And, you know, Nora, the way she expresses herself in art and the way we, you know, use our stitching. Anyway, it was a very, it was really a magical time to get to spend with her. And people, you know, she got a standing ovation. Everybody's clapping and hooping and hollering her at the end, and she was like, y'all stop. Like, you know, I mean it was just like a huge room full of people just basically just trying to let her know how much we appreciate her and love her so, and her designs. And you know, it was wonderful. And she went through her sketch pad up there and was talking to us about different things and colors, and people were like, you know, sometimes you're stitching a Mirabilia and you're like, what in the world is going on? What is that color about? You know, and so she was explaining how, like, sometimes she puts a brown in there because she considers a brown a dead color, and sometimes you need a dead color for every other color to work or to showcase. Or, I mean, she's educated. She's an artist, you know, and she knows what she's doing. Yeah. And, you know, it's like we say sometimes, just trust the process when you're stitching something and you're like, what is that about? However, she also expressed how much she loves it when people do conversions and change her designs and make them their own. There was another Nora there. She finished Bianca Bella. Y'all, she turned her into Snow White. I mean, complete with like an apple and a bunny and a bluebird and I mean, people are very, very talented, and Nora was very appreciative of that and really like encouraged and enjoyed it and loved it when you wanted to change the color to this or that. I mean, it was awesome. In fact, Katie, oh gosh, how do I say Katie's last name? I'm not sure, but Katie was there, and Katie did the beautiful skin conversion of the baker's wife, and she just finished Ludo with this beautiful like straw stitching, and Nora was like head over heels in love with Katie's conversions, and spent some time talking with her, and she was just very appreciative of all of ours love of her work. And so it was, the question and answer was like definitely magical moments. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed. 10 out of 10. It was just wonderful. After question and answer, we went to my little table. We went over to lunch. We walked over to First Watch. It's like a breakfast brunch place. It's in the parking lot as well. Denise bought us around $1 million bacon, which we immediately scarfed down. Everybody had a lovely meal. I had a beautiful ham and Gruyere. I said it halfway correct, didn't I, Bernadette? Sandwich, and there was some eggs Benedict on the table and some lemon ricotta pancakes, and yeah, it was everything was just delicious. So we came back after lunch. We did some more stitching. I was happy to stitch on some things, like I stitched on Forest Goddess while I was here. I actually brought, like I said, all of my Mira whips. There were only 2 that I didn't touch. I did not get any stitches in on Mermaid of the Pearls or Queen Anne's lace, but the other 5 I did, plus a new start. I had intended to start the retreat piece, which I'm going to post a picture of up here. And I didn't finish going through this bag. What the heck? So for the retreat piece, we got a chart, beautiful chart. Nora sketched it, and then Katie, she charted the whole chart. Like, wow, so amazing. They gave us, let me show you what they gave us, the chart, and I didn't end up starting it. I did bring some fabrics to choose from, but I just I don't like to start things. So I'd already started one thing and kind of put me in capacity. So Mary Reed made us this really cool Notions bag. This was all in our bag. I can't believe I just jumped over all of this. It says Queen City on it. We got a pair of scissors. We got Krynick. I think we must need that Krynick for the retreat piece. We got a waxer with the bee on it. We got some beads. Some more beads. We got a needle. This needle was for it's for part of the pattern. It's an embellishment. It's not to use to stitch. More beads. And then we got on floss drops that say Queen City, our fancy floss, our silks, our water lilies for the chart. How amazing was that? That was all in our retreat bag. In addition, In addition, we had a spool of thread from Krynic plus, which I love this, a chart. How amazing is that? And then this is from Witchelt, and it was packaged exclusively for the Queen City for some Mirabilia postcards and some beads. And I'm not gonna open these, because, well, maybe I am. Let me show you. So the girls used all of these postcards. No, they didn't use these postcards, but they used some greeting cards, and they were Mirabilia designs, and they made our table numbers out of them. It was so cool. I took a picture, I'll show you. But we got these postcards, like there's Fairy Moon. Oh my gosh, yeah. Mother's Arms. I mean, just these are just beautiful. Touching the Autumn Sky, which I will be starting in November. Yeah, so that was from Witchelt. How nice was that? Super, super nice. And let's see, last but not least, in our retreat bag was a beautiful tumbler. Make sure I'm not missing anything down in there, because that says, oh, I don't have the plastic off of it. Let me take the plastic off of it. First of all, it's got a very sparkly straw, which I love. It's a beautiful blue, and it says Queen City on it, and a Stitcher tree, and I love it. That was all in our swag bag, y'all. That was amazing. They also had given us an opportunity before the retreat to order t-shirts and sweatshirts, which I did, and they were really nice and really high quality and just lovely, just lovely. Okay, I can't believe I forgot to do that. Like I said, I did not start the retreat piece, but I did get some stuff stitched on while I was here. I worked on the garden party because Bernadette and I, that was like my birthday gift from her. And we were been stitching it together, so it was really fun to be able to stitch it in person together. I didn't get a ton done. I'm stitching this on a 32 count. I think it's Twilight by Picture This Plus. But I got a little bit done up in my corner here. Bernadette worked on hers a lot because she was having issues with her face. I'll let you go over to her channel and see what she worked out, but that's where I put some stitches in on that. I didn't put massive amounts of stitches in on anything because honestly, I was visiting and looking at everything. If you all could believe how distracting that brag table was, how many times I got up to like look at everything or just was sitting there staring at it. Or on top of that, chatting and laughing because literally we could not shut up laughing and chatting and having the best time. I stitched on Forest Goddess. This is a stitch along I'm doing with Lisa and Amy, and Lisa was sitting with me, so it was fun to stitch on her. I'm stitching this one on 32 count Seraphim, 32 count Cecil by Seraphim Fabrics. There's Forest Goddess, and I did actually get a good strip done on her. Yeah. But I knew I wanted to try to touch several of these whips, and like I said, there only ended up being 2 that I didn't get any stitches on, so that was pretty satisfying. And then Bernadette all but demanded I put some stitches in my Santa. She was like, I need to see you working on Santa. So I did work on Santa's Magic. Bernadette finished Santa's Magic. Oh, hold on, a little bit. Finished Santa's Magic, and I was able to see him on the brag table, and he is so handsome. I love him. I actually did get some decent stitching done on Santa. I was working in, let's see, like this. This is like the bottom tassel from his hat, this gold and brown area. I put a lot of work into that actually, well, yesterday. And let's see, who else? Oh, I put a few stitches into Charlotte. Not a ton. Just a few. I think I stitched on Charlotte. Or did I get down there and I didn't have... Oh, I might not have gotten just a few on Charlotte. I don't remember if I even got any stitches in on Charlotte because I think when I got down there, I had her with me. And I think I left her floss in the room. Oh well. You know, she lives in a really pretty Shiba Designs bag. And then last night, last but not least, I put some stitches in on Fairy Flora. That was probably a bad choice because I'm stitching Fairy Flora on what's it called? Barnwood by Picture This Plus, and it's pretty dark. So let me show you where I got. on her. I just added some more stitches in, and look at this beautiful needle minder Jess Stitches of Sass gave me. I was really happy to meet Jess. We sat at tables next to each other. Jess and Sally, they're so sweet. Oh, and behind us was sitting Susan, Criminally Creative Podcast. Susan's 55th birthday this weekend, so we all sang her happy birthday, and I'm so excited. I know Susan from some Zooms we do with Pam of Stitching in the Land of Good Enough for Stitch New England, and Susan is driving to Stitch New England next too, so I will be seeing Susan in a few days again, so that was nice. I really like Susan. She's nice. Let's see. And so, yeah, lots of stitching, lots of laughing. We ended the night with lots of, oh, and during the retreat, Allie had purchased some very large cards. One for Maggie, one for Amy, and written their names on them and inside and said thank you. And then my job was I facilitated them getting to each table and getting signed throughout the weekend. And so I think everybody got them signed, and they were jam-packed full. And so at the end of the night before the raffle, you know, Maggie and Amy got up and, you know, expressed their thanks and how much it meant to them, for them to, you know, for everybody to be here. And then, of course, Allie presented the cards to them, and they got very emotional. And I just can't tell you, y'all, how good of a job they did. This retreat was super enjoyable, very well organized. Things just like happened like they were supposed to happen. Like, it was not chaotic. I mean, Maggie and Amy, they're hilarious. You know, they're up there doing their fun back and forth at each other, and I just love them both so much. But like, the work they put in, they put on a great retreat. It was their first retreat, and it was a good retreat, y'all. So 2 thumbs up, highly recommend. If you can come next year, come on next year. So we ended the night with the raffle. Y'all, the raffle was so much fun. We ended up raising over $5,000 for the animal rescue. It was so much fun. The things that were given away were just amazing. Everybody was so excited. I am gonna say, there were several people that won multiple things. They all need to go get a Powerball ticket, or they needed to last night. And if they don't win the Powerball today, they need to head to Vegas, because these women were lucky ducks. And nobody at my table ended up winning anything in the raffle. I was gunning for some Clay by Kim needle minders. I really wanted them. Bernadette really wanted the 12 days, no, the reindeer with the Christmas sleigh. Jordan wanted the In My Garden. Oh gosh, what did Deb want? Denise wanted Queen of Freedom. Amber, I don't remember what Amber wanted. What did Deb want? Deb wanted something too. Deb wanted the project bag. But anyway, yeah, so we ended the night with the raffle, and then everybody kind of started cleaning up, pulling their stuff off the brag table, which is always the saddest part to me. Oh my gosh, at StitchCon and everything, like when people start taking stuff off the brag table, I'm like, oh my gosh. And that Mirabilia brag table, it was no joke. It was so gorgeous. I can't wait for you to watch the video at the end, see some of the pictures that I'm gonna post up there. The stitching was gorgeous, and there was such an array of designs. Of course, there was a repeat here and there, but like pretty much few and far between, right? It was wonderful. The whole retreat was wonderful. Everybody was cleaning up, taking all their stuff up, and everybody kind of trickled out. We shut it down at 11 and said our goodbyes, and a lot of my friends had to fly out of town. They had early flights, and so I hope, wishing everybody, you know, super safe travels. I can't wait to see everyone again. I can't wait to do this retreat again. I think it'll be Mirabilia themed back in 2025. That's the game plan. I believe Nora will be coming back. So just stay tuned to that. I believe Nora enjoyed herself. I enjoyed myself. I don't know what else to say except, wow. what an amazing weekend. I just kept thinking all day long, like, this is so nice. This is so nice. And I'm having the best time. And I'm with all these wonderful people. And everyone is just great. And we're all just surrounded by things that we love. And so thank you. Thank you, Maggie and Amy. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, all of my sweet friends. Thank you, table number 4. Y'all are the best. Heading to the NASCAR race today with my sweet husband. He's flying in, and it's my first NASCAR race. I'm checking it out. Going to the Roval at Charlotte. That's the thing, right? We're heading up to Massachusetts tomorrow morning. We're going to be spending a couple days piddling around up there, checking out Salem, checking out Boston before I go to Stitch, New England, and meet up with my dear friend Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitches. I wanted to do the vlog thing, y'all. I don't know, maybe vlogs are just not my thing, because I just was enjoying being around everybody too much. So, but I hope to get this posted soon, and I'll do the same with the next one. So, please enjoy the rest of your day or night, whichever it may be. Enjoy your stitching, and until I see you again, take care. Bye. you.